Yeah, but from Mocha.
All right, Harsha, I'm sorry, I'll have to cut you short on that because we're getting in a breaking news that's coming in. This is about China's disinformation campaign against Rafale. Now, a United States Congressional Advisory Body has reported that China had ran a gray zone disinformation campaign after Operation Sindoor, using fake accounts and AI-generated images to cast doubt on the Rafale fighter jet and promote its own J-35. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, it is a striking revelation that's come to fore from the latest annual report of the US-China Economic and Security Review Commission. And it has revealed how China has been orchestrating a sophisticated, quote-unquote, grey zone disinformation operation in the wake of India's Operation Sindoor. And remember, earlier back then, it was the Congress party also who had promoted a false narrative and thereby peddled China's narrative on Rafales being shot down. All right, Major General G.D. Bakshi is joining us on the phone line. And Ishan, I'm going to come back to you on that note. Major General, this is a big revelation that's come out. This was China's disinformation campaign. And the same was peddled by the Congress party as well.
Absolutely. You know, China was very keen to promote its weapons and equipment for sale all over the world. Unfortunately for China, the Operation Sindoor was a disaster as far as a PR exercise was concerned. Its PL-15s, you know, they fell out of the sky like duds. Its J-17s were shot up. You know, its AWACS were shot out of the skies at record ranges. Most of its truck-mounted howitzers, their barrels flowered and burst. So its equipment got it a lot of bad name. It was a very bad PR exercise for China. So China tried to make it up by, a fake narrative war in which it tried to run down the Rafale in specific, because it is the Rafale which is in competition with its J-10C, which it is trying to sell to various nations in Africa and Asia. Now that Rafale has actually beaten the F-16, F-18, F-21, all these American aircraft in terms of sales to so many Afro-Asian countries, especially Asian countries, especially in the Middle East. And to India, it is being sold in huge quantities. Therefore, the Chinese wanted to, create a sales pitch that the Rafale 6, 7, 8 Rafales were shot down. Show us the evidence. Show us the evidence. Not one bloody Rafale plane was shot down in Op Sindoor. And a whole lot of hoopla was created by the Pakistani Air Force, which had mostly hit the Rafale decoys. Every Rafale aircraft carries a decoy along with it, connected to it by etheric cable, and it is those that were shot down and not the real Rafales. And we also use the Nishant drones, etc., as deception and as decoys that would be hit by the Chinese missiles HQ-6, HQ-9, HQ-18. That proved to be a damn squib, a major disaster. The radars on the JF-17 failed dismally, and therefore China tried to counter it by a major social media offensive, powerful propaganda drive based upon false concocted Pakistani claims, never verified, never proved, no empirical evidence ever shown, and yet the message spread around, unfortunately, because we were a little late in getting our story off the ground, our part of the truth off the ground, that the Pakistani narrative was able to dominate for 4 or 5 days till the DGMOs gave their briefing and presented empirical evidence of every single hit. Maxar satellite photographs before and after. Show us the evidence of the Rafale. Show us the debris of the Rafale. Show us the satellite photographs of the debris of the Rafale. show us the radar tracks where you claim to have shot down the Rafale.
Right, sir.
It is some kind of a joke.
Right, absolutely. In fact, Major General Bakshi, India had officially back then confirmed that we had shot 5 Pakistani jets and 1 surveillance aircraft. Do you think this number that India had put out was so triggering and alarming for Beijing that they had to resort to a disinformation campaign against India and the Rafales?
It's exactly what I said. Their equipment had proved to be a PR disaster. Firstly, the Pakistanis couldn't handle it, and then they started blaming the Chinese equipment. So it was a total, utter disaster for PR sales disaster for China. I mean, they have invested so much in their military-industrial complex, and they have been trying to subsidize their production by sale to Africa, by sale to the Asiatic countries and all that. But all that was disastrously sabotaged by Pakistan, by the poor performance of its weapons, and worse still, the poor handling of these weapons by Pakistan. Pakistan, in education, is focusing mostly on madrasa education and not technical education. So they can't handle complicated equipment or complex equipment. And they were half part of the disaster. The other part was the design flaws, the manufacturing flaws, the shortcomings in the Chinese equipment itself. So they had to counter this disaster, this PR disaster, by a counter campaign in the social media, which has now been found out. It was patently obvious that they were doing this.
Right,
Not
sir.
only the Chinese social media, they were paying Western media to do this. And a lot of Western media firms had also joined in. Because after all, the F-16, F-18 Hornets, they are in competition with the Rafale. They were also not keen to have
Absolutely,
the Rafale extolled.
Right, sir.